She believed the intersectional feminist girl boss lie, and, how's that working out for you?
Does anyone else just work their ass off for like the last 3 or 4 years for like a college degree, and now you have a job that you hate and you still can't afford life and you're still miserable and you can't pay any of your bills and you can't live in the house that you imagine and you just feel lied to?
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
You thought that if you just went to college and got a degree, you'd be able to afford a house and like things that make you happy, but yet you're still barely can afford groceries or clothes or literally anything that makes you happy at all, and you had to spend the whole entire weekend in your bed because you literally don't have any money to go do anything other, like if you buy food you just can't have an entertainment budget. So I'm just wondering if anyone else is dealing with something like this or if it's just me, because this ain't it.
Gotcha, bitch.
Feminists have been training women to be men. That's pretty much a prerequisite for a professional career these days. But it's also a formula for failure in your personal life. A feminine woman and a man go together like a nut and a bolt. 80% of divorces in the US are initiated by women, and the judges side with the women most of the time too. 80% of inmates prisoners in the US were raised by single moms. A lack of a father figure in the household is a huge problem they won't admit. 80% of men are considered unattractive by women on online dating social media apps. Average is bad. Men just want peace, purity, stability, and a quiet life. Yet modern women have all been corrupted, brainwashed, and taken every bait offered to them.
Yo, what? I'm in a place now in my life where I'm reevaluating everything. My values, my perspectives, what I really want in the future. And what I really want is a family. I feel like social media or just everything around us, society in general, wants to push that the woman is the future. No, the family is the future.
There are so many women that are going to be in this situation because they have been lied to. And there are a lot of men out there that want to have families that have been trying to say this. They have been trying to say that they just want a woman that is loving and caring in nature. They don't care if you're a boss babe. If anything, unfortunately, it might work against you. Now for this woman, she's come to that realization with plenty of time. I think she's going to find what she wants.
A masculine woman and a man go together like two bolts. The masculine professional woman may disguise her masculine nature to get married, but eventually, it will express itself as competition with the man for dominance and control in the family. That leads to divorce for irreconcilable differences, not surprisingly. The fact is that women trying to be masculine in a home is what leads to high divorces. Men and women have distinct roles. They should complement each other and not compete. Men head the home. Women support as helpers.
Here's the thing that I want to let women know, and I think this is especially here in the West, the United States, etc. You know, we tell women that they can have it all. They can get a career, they can make this money, they could be a boss, and then while doing all of that, they can attract a man on their caliber that's also a boss, that's gonna be okay with them being a boss and them working together in some kind of partnership, as you would say. And I'm here to tell you guys,
Nope.
That's not the way the world works. Okay, men that are successful, hypermasculine, competitive, etc., they're going to want a feminine, submissive woman. And the problem is that so many women want to be married, but they don't want to necessarily be wives. And the reality is this: as a wife, by default of definition of your title, you are in a support role. You are to augment that man's castle and help him with what he has going on. So if you want to be a wife, you're going to have to concede and give up certain things to help that man excel, because here's the reality. When a man's in a leadership position and thriving, you're going to thrive as a byproduct of being with him. But if a woman is in a leadership position, as you were describing earlier, where you're thriving, you don't want that guy to thrive with you. You're going to find a man that can compete with you. That's the difference between men and women. Women are incapable of leading men, typically, especially if they're of lower socioeconomic status than themselves. Men, though, are okay with that. Women don't like to share their excess resources. Men are built to do it.
If Western women want to pursue their own path, men will get passports for foreign women who are best trained to be feminine and have less pain and stress. What most older women also don't realize is that no decent man would enter into a relationship with them when they're so desperate. As a man, the last thing you want to do is involve someone in your life because, in her eyes, you'll do. If you were a fully independent and successful man, making your own money, taking care of your physical shape, and running your own house, I can guarantee you'd see very little value in the average woman. High-value men only bring in their life a woman who is an asset, or nothing otherwise.
You would put your success and your individual accomplishments on the back burner for the benefit of the family or the man.
It's the family before you. I just think once you have kids, it's not about yourself anymore. It's about your kids. So yeah.
Don't forget your man.
Please don't forget your man.
TLA was like, wait a second.
We're about to get red pill.
We're about to red pill you, Pearl.
Well, I mean, but what's best for the kids if you get along with your man?
True.
Okay.
Keep your man happy.
So how would
Happy
you?
man, happy life. That's exactly right.
So what is the saying for like? What's the male equivalent of a happy wife, happy life? Like
there is none.
Say there are no waves of feminism. Feminism has always been about authority without the corresponding level of responsibility. The truth is that men are not intimidated by the strong, independent woman boss babe. We are just annoyed. Because there is this false belief that to be strong or independent comes with being arrogant, demeaning, and entitled. To be strong and independent is to be humble, endurance, and self-reliant. But that's not the case. I love how all these women call themselves and their feminist coven courageous. How? How are they courageous? They marched down the streets in mass groups screaming and chanting. They said, I want. A 30-year millionaire guy would happily marry and provide for a 22-year-old girl who doesn't have a college degree or make money, but can cook, clean, and is loyal.
Gen Z intersectional feminist Joe Biden voter has a bunch of this close.
A 30-year millionaire boss babe would never marry and provide for a guy who doesn't make money but can cook, clean, and is loyal. Girls who make money still expect the guy to make more money than her and to provide for her. It's like an 11-year-old making money during summer. They want to save that up to spend on themselves while expecting parents to provide for basic necessities. Homemade food and an attentive parent throughout childhood are essential for a child's well-being. You can never form a partnership with a boss babe without having your child miss out on important things in their lives.
This girl shared a video on TikTok where she tearfully expressed her frustration at being unable to find a job despite holding 2 degrees and speaking 3 languages. She went door to door applying for minimum wage positions, only to be met with rejections.
This is the most humbled I've ever felt in my life. I'm literally holding resumes, a stack of them, so that I can go in person to places and say, are you guys hiring? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing because I'm literally applying for like minimum wage jobs and some of them are being like, we're not hiring, and it's like, what?
Feminism has really made it impossible for women to grasp these ideas because it constantly bombards women with this thought that they need to be independent and that they don't need any men in their lives. Feminism uses popular culture such as movies, television series, documentaries, talk shows, the news, books, music, comic books, podcasts, social media, and social media influencers to perpetuate this thought that a woman who spends her prime years laboring in offices and building wealth are real women, and that they're the women every other woman should follow the example of. Women have always gone after men who had more money than they do. That's human history. Now they, being strong, independent feminists, also only want a man who has more money. Isn't there some kind of peak in their thinking? They're using the same thinking as all women before them in history. It really is only about money. So they want to have the richer guys, which are what women always wanted. How is that feminist? It's the same old, same old. I wonder how many great guys have been discarded because the woman reached that enlightened stage where she wanted what every woman in history has wanted. And now, being near the end of their reproductive cycle, they find going it alone, not being everything it's cracked up to be. Isn't that weird? What happens is that when these women reach the age of 40, they realize they're already past their biological clocks, and will probably not be having children anymore. With this, they keep repeating the same mantra that they don't need any men in their lives. But as the years go by, they start to realize they really don't have any purpose in life. And the companies they'd been laboring away for don't really care about them because they can fire or lay off these women at any given time. The biggest example of this is the recent tech layoffs that we say in the United States, and then consequently the rest of the world. And so, it's only then when they know they cannot go back in time and do this over again, they realize how they'd wasted away their lives, solely concentrating on money, building wealth, investing, and chasing corporate ladders. They realize all the money they have now in their bank accounts, they don't even have anyone to spend that money on. They don't know what to do with their investment, except perhaps make more and earn more. They don't have any children to pass it on. They don't have any children to pass on their knowledge, wisdom, and all the things they learned in life. The only thing they did in their lives was live to make money, and sure, that's something they did. But then what? Thousands of other people do that as well. When those people die, they're forgotten in a matter of days and months. They don't even have anyone to visit their graves. They're literally forgotten. Even the companies they worked for all of their lives replace them within a month or two. Sure, they might have co-workers and friends, but all of them are busy living and making memories with their partners and children. So, it is absolutely crucial for modern women around the world to realize that life's not just about making money, generating wealth, starting businesses, and climbing the corporate ladder. Because women have the leverage of not doing any of that, and still live the best lives with their partners who are happy to be providers, and even happier when they have wives who give birth to beautiful children, and together, they raise their families. There are just so many women today in American society who are so totally broken and twisted that they are incapable of functioning in a normal, healthy, stable relationship with a good man who loves them and treats them right. If you treat your girl right by doing things to show your appreciation for her, like making her breakfast and buying her flowers, then it is almost 100% guaranteed that she will immediately dry up like the Sahara and ghost you in no time flat. That is the sad state of affairs in America today. The whole idea of strong and independent women is based on an extreme level of feminism that promote male oppression, and women take over control of their entire life, in an act of revenge against all the women who have been oppressed by men throughout history. It doesn't make sense, and it has far-reaching negative consequences for the idea of a family, which is on the decline in the Western world. Fact is, women do need men. Most of them realize that too late when they're past the wall, hitting their mid-40s, and realizing they're missing a big chunk of life. Today, the fragile society we live in has given women a false sense of superiority. If for whatever reason we are faced with a real threat, their roles would be reduced greatly, and not all men are nice to weak women when push comes to shove. It would be nice to have a grown discussion with the opposite gender about the issues nowadays. But most women will not bend their knees due to the amount of pressure they are under trying to keep up with the Jones. We are too far apart to have any type of dialogue. The late Kevin Samuel tried to do the same, and he would get disrespected on his own show. This change needs to start within the women's community. It's just the same way men check other men when they get out of line. The same applies to women. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.